What's going on, everybody? Kalipas Tech here, coming back at you with another video. This is the beginner's guide to the Samsung Galaxy A13 5G. In this video, I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks for this phone to help you get more familiar with the device. Now, before we go any further, I do want to remind you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel a lot. But with that being said, let's get into the video. So the first thing I want to show you is how to change the wallpaper. This is really easy to do. All you need to do is go to your settings, go to wallpaper, and now you can choose between wallpapers already on the phone and whatever's in your photos. Now you can also use wallpaper services, and this is basically stuff you can download from the Samsung store. And by default, when you have dark mode on, this is going to be applied to your wallpaper, basically meaning the wallpaper is going to be tinted in a dark color as well. But if you don't want dark mode to affect your wallpaper at all, you can always uncheck this. Now that was easy enough, but there's also a faster way to not only change your wallpaper, but also customize some other settings on your home screen. To do this, all you need to do is press and hold a finger on your home screen like this. And as you can see, you can change your wallpapers down here. You can also customize your themes, widgets, and home settings in general. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change your system navigation. Now I'm sure you've noticed these three buttons down here at the bottom. This is pretty typical for any Android phone, but these days we've been getting another type of system navigation called gesture navigation. In a lot of phones, this is the default, but basically gesture navigation replaces these three buttons with a little bar to make the phone's controls a little bit more minimalistic. So let me show you how to get to gesture navigation. So we're going to go to our settings. Go to display, go to where it says navigation bar, so right here. And as you can see, you can also change the order of your buttons if you want. But what we're going to do is go to gesture navigation by checking swipe gestures. With this feature on, as you can see here, the buttons have been replaced by this little bar. So let me show you how gesture navigation works. In order to go home, instead of pressing a home button, swipe up like this. To go to your recent apps, drag your finger up from the bottom. And to go back, swipe from left to right or right to left. It doesn't matter which way you swipe as long as you go horizontally from one side of the screen to the other. Gesture navigation is a real cool feature and I personally really like it, but it's going to be different for everyone. It really just depends on what you like. There's no right or wrong answer. So I suggest trying out both the button navigation and the gesture navigation to see which one you like better. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change your screen timeout time. If you've ever been in a situation where your phone falls asleep on you while you're reading something, or if it just stays on and wastes your battery, you're definitely going to want to know how to change this because this is going to help you out a lot. So first thing we're going to do is, of course, go to our settings. Go to display. Go to screen timeout. And as you can see, you can have it as short as 15 seconds or as long as 10 minutes. Now, I personally wish it could be a little bit longer than this. There are lots of phones out there where you can have your screen timeout up to 30 minutes or even unlimited. And then if you're doing something like reading or watching a movie or something like that, you probably will want it to be on the longer side. But for normal use, I guess it could be a little bit shorter. So it really just depends on how you use your phone. So definitely play around with it and see which time works best for you. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to customize your sound settings. Sounds are really important, of course, but they can also get really annoying, especially some of the defaults. So I'm going to show you how to change all that. First thing we're going to do is go to our settings. Go to sounds and vibration. First thing we have up top is sound mode. I'm currently in sound mode, so if I get a call or something like that, the phone is going to make a sound. But when you're in sound mode, keep in mind that if you want it to vibrate, you have to toggle this on. You can also put your phone in vibrate mode. Of course, that's pretty self-explanatory. And if you don't want it to do anything, you can always put it in mute. Down here, you can change your ringtone, notification sound, and of course, all your different volumes. So if you tap on volume, you're going to see your ringtone up top, media below that. So if you're watching a movie, listening to music, playing a game, something like that, that's what the media volume is going to control. For notifications, that's pretty much any other type of notifications. And system, of course, is going to be any sounds made by the system. So the feedback when you're typing on the screen, stuff like that, as you can see, that's going to make it a lot louder or a lot quieter. By default, when you use the volume keys, this is going to be controlling the media. So if you're listening to music, watching a video, any of that kind of stuff, whenever you press the volume keys, that's the volume that this is going to control. You can also change the vibration pattern for your calls and your notifications, as well as the vibration intensity. If you want to customize the sounds from your typing and that sort of thing, you're going to go to this section. And as you can see, you can toggle a lot of these sounds on and off. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is how to customize your notifications. Similar to sounds, these can be really useful, of course, and they're really important in general, but some of the default settings can be a little annoying. So we're going to go back to our settings, notifications. First thing you're going to see is the pop-up style. So by default, it's going to be brief. I personally like to leave it like this. Detailed is just going to give you a lot more information, really not that necessary. Now, included apps, you can change which apps send you pop-up notifications. So if we tap here, you're going to be able to turn off all the ones you don't want pop-ups from. For me personally, that's going to be pretty much all of them. But of course, if there are certain apps you do want these notifications from, you won't have to do anything because most of them will be on by default. Now, if there's a certain app you want to turn off all the notifications on, you can do that too by going to the recently sent section, going to more, and it's going to give you all the apps that have sent you notifications within the last 7 days or so, and you'll be able to turn them off individually. Now, you're going to have lots of apps, depending on your carrier and all that might send you notifications for no real reason. And this is a good time to turn off all those because it can get really irritating to have a bunch of nonsense in your status bar. Now, speaking of the status bar, if we go to advanced settings, you can also change what shows up on your status bar. So of course, up top here where it says status bar, we got the battery percentage right here, if you want it to show up or if you don't. And you can also change which icons show up here. So for example, by default, it's going to show all notifications. You can also have it show only the 3 most recent or just the number of notifications you have. Or if you just want it to look clean and more minimalistic, you can have it show none. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to activate dark mode. This is a really easy thing to do, but there are actually 2 different ways to do it. So the first thing we're going to do is go to our settings, go to display, and dark mode is right up here at the top. And this is a really easy way to do it if you're going to the display menu anyway for something else. But if you're not, if you just want to turn on dark mode real quick, all you really need to do is open your quick menu by swiping down twice, go to the next page, and tap right here where it says dark mode. There we go, dark mode's on, and that's probably the quickest and easiest possible way to do it. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change your screen lock. The screen lock is, of course, how you unlock your screen. So right now, I have mine set to PIN and fingerprint. So as you can see, I can either put in my PIN or use the fingerprint scanner. So to change all this, we're going to go to our settings, go to lock screen, tap right here where it says screen lock type, put in your current PIN, and now you can choose between swipe, which is basically nothing, pattern, PIN, or password. You can also control face unlock and fingerprints from here as well. But with that being said, while you can turn face unlock and the fingerprint scanner on and off from this menu, you actually have to go to a different spot to set it up. So let me show you where that is. So we're back in our main menu right now, and as you can see, biometrics and security is right under lock screen. This is where you're going to be adding your fingerprints and your face for face unlock. Keep in mind that while you can add multiple fingerprints, you can only use one face. So if you're sharing the device with more than one person, only one of you can use face unlock. The last thing I'm going to show you is how to take a screenshot. This is probably the easiest thing to do on this phone, or any phone for that matter, but not every phone has the same exact controls for it. So for this phone to take a screenshot, all you need to do is press the power key and the volume down key, just like this. Keep in mind that you just press these buttons, don't press and hold, because that's going to do something completely different. But this was my beginner's guide to the Samsung Galaxy A13 5G. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you found this information useful as well. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And as always, I will see you in the next video.